Hello, Dodgers. We're the Astros, and this series is far from over. Los Angeles, in one of the most thrilling, hard-threatening Donnybrook baseball battles in the World Series in recent decades, the Houston Astros and Los Angeles Dodgers tried to smother each other in heroics and home runs for over 4 incredible hours Wednesday night in Game 2. Their duel is now tied at a game apiece after a 7-6, 11-inning Astros win that was played for the baseball heavens. In a powerful sense, this game was the Astros' introduction, in full dynamic perspective, to the Dodgers, and perhaps to a suddenly agape America, too. Yes, hello, Dodgers, we are the Astros, and we would like you to meet several gentlemen whose names you may remember for a long time. First, meet Marwin Gonzalez. His leadoff home run in the top of the 9th inning off Dodger closer Kenley Jansen tied the game at 3 and prevented the Dodgers from taking a 2-0 lead. Now, let us introduce you to Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa. Crash, smash. What you are watching with dropped jaws, Mr. and Mrs. Los Angeles, are back-to-back long-gone home runs deep into the left center field bleachers in the 10th inning off reliever Josh Fields, the deep-in-the-LA bullpen fellow that the Dodgers never dreamed they would have to use. Finally, let us give you a formal introduction to George Springer, our leadoff hitter, who struck out 4 times in Game 1. After you Dodgers, and we freely admit that you are an incredible bunch of foes, tied the game in the bottom of the 10th at 5 on a booming Yale Puig homer and a 2-out RBI single by pinch hitter Kike Hernandez off our closer Ken Giles, we still had Springer left to give you our best wishes. Springer, who already had a walk, single and double in Game 2, finally struck the game-winning 2-run homer over the right field fence, after midnight back east, off Brandon McCarthy in the top of the 11th. Those 4 Astros homers, by Gonzalez, the 5'6" mighty man Altuve, Correa and finally Springer may have gotten the attention of all of sports America and several other countries as well. Now we have a World Series. Now we have a 1-game apiece battle that will resume Friday night in Houston. Both these teams have now dealt thunderous blows to each other. The Astros used their aces, Dallas Keuchel and Justin Verlander, in the first 2 games, fellows who are considerably better than the rest of their solid but unspectacular rotation. Yet without for Gonzalez' fabulous, clutch, game-saving, and probably series-saving, homer, the trumping of the 2 Astros aces would be the theme of this series. Now, the Astros have a mighty symbol of their own strength in the bashing of Jansen. Message: nobody's safe. To prove it, the Dodgers responded to the back-to-back Altuve and Correa homers as few teams ever have in the World Series, with a 2-run 10th-inning rally off a first-rate closer in Ken Giles. First, there was a titanic homer to left by Yale Puig. He can pump that one all he wants. It cut the lead to 5-4. But the Dodgers weren't finished as a walk, a wild pitch and an incredibly clutch, down to the last-out RBI single by Hernandez into right field tied the game once more. Perhaps that should have been expected after Hernandez's 3 home runs in the Dodgers' National League Championship Series clinching win over the Cubs last week. If the Dodgers had continued that comeback to win in the 10th, Los Angeles County might have run out of defibrillators. Instead, the game carried on, so Springer, who had been in a slump for a week, could have the final say. Well, not quite. Down to their last out in the 11th, the Dodgers' Charlie Culbertson smashed his own homer into the left field pavilion to produce the final 7-6 score. If Puig, who made the final out, had also homered, even he might have run out of ways to celebrate himself and all of this Dodger blue ballpark might have collapsed in adulation. Just as well he didn't. This game was about 5 wonderful games roiled in one. Oh, goody. Can we do this for 4 or 5 more games, please? Perhaps the central moment, among so many, in this game was the emotional swing in the 9th. Nobody hits 9th-inning home runs off Jansen. All 265 pound of him is just too tough. Jansen is the Mariano Rivera of this generation and the greatest symbol of Dodger strength. Somebody forgot to tell Gonzalez, a formidable slugger who only merits the number 7 spot in a Houston batting order that led the majors in runs scored this season by dozens. Leading off the 9th inning, Gonzalez thrashed a 94.4 mph cutter over the center field fence. At that moment, this World Series was transformed from a probable romp by the Dodgers into what will likely be a long and perhaps magnificent battle. The Astros did not just bash Jansen in the 9th. The Dodgers asked Jansen for a 6-out save. In the 8th, he allowed an inherited runner to score. Ultimately, after Puig's home run in the bottom of the 10th cut the Astros lead to 5-4, Correa's homer, which was more like window dressing than insurance at the time, proved to be the winning Astro run. The importance of this Astros escape cannot possibly be overstated. In the last 36 years, 14 teams have won the first 2 games of the World Series on their home field. What has happened after that has defied probability. Those 14 teams have all gone on to win the World Series. But they have also done it by, in most instances, crushing their foe 28-12 in games once they got their foe down. If Gonzalez, remember that name, Merwin Gonzalez, had not done what almost no one has done against Jansen in the last 8 years, the Astros would be looking down the barrel of those numbers. Now, instead, we have a game, even if it was only a game 2, that will be worth replaying as long they keep insisting on playing this thing called the World Series. More baseball. Astros dig deep, beat Dodgers to even World Series. Yale Puig and his infant son get blue mohawks for the World Series. Justin Turner was just a guy. Here's a reason he became a postseason